Hello everyone, in this video I want to show you how to quickly create ice walls. So this hanging ice like structure, you can use this workflow to quickly add some realism to your winter environments. I'm using Blender 2.9 and this is an intermediate tutorial, which means that you should be familiar with the basic interface and the terminologies used inside Blender. I am using this rock asset from Megascans. Let me just turn on the look dev mode to quickly show you how it looks. And I will use it to demonstrate the workflow. I will start by creating the basic shape for the icicles. Let's hide this mesh, and first I will turn on the screencast keys. Perfect. Let's take the cursor to the center. Let's create a basic cylinder. And for the sides, I want it to be 8. And I can decrease the radius to be something like 20. Depth, it doesn't matter, I will change it anyways. Use triangle fan for cap fill. And that's it. I will unhide the rocks so that I can get a sense of the scale that I need. Let's go into the orthographic view and let's see. So it seems already okay. The size of the cylinder may be a little short, so I will scale it on the z-axis. Like so. So this I can use for the reference of the general scale of the icicles. I will move back the cylinder to the origin and hide the rocks. Okay, let's start some modeling. So first I want the origin to be at the top of the cylinder, because this will help in placing the cylinder later when we want to build our snow and ice wall. So I will go into edit mode, select everything and move everything downward so that it's closer to the top. Then still in edit mode, I want to maybe change the scale so that it's a bit thinner, like so, and then add some loop cuts to it using Ctrl R. And now I want to make the shape a little bit randomized. I can do this quickly using select random, and then right click, randomize vertices. And this will introduce some random transformation to the selected objects, but I don't want effect to be so much pronounced, so I will reduce it a little bit. This doesn't look so bad. Maybe increase the normal. And you can also play with the seed to regenerate the randomization. And the last thing that I want to do is to look the bottom half of the icicle looks thin and tapered like a real icicle. So let's make sure that X-ray mode is turned on, and let's turn on proportional editing too by pressing O or using this button. And let's select the bottom row of the vertices and let's scale it down. Increase the influence of the proportional editing by using the mouse wheel, and this looks good. Let's change the shading to shade smooth, and this looks nice. So this is one icicle done. I will create some more of them quickly using the same workflow. this way you can quickly create a number of icicles with some random details and sizes, and this way when you distribute them across your scene it won't look like a duplicate or repetitive. To quickly multiply icicles, you can select a number of them, duplicate, and then rotate them on their own axes. So for the orientation I will use local, and pivot point is original individual origins, and then do some rotation and then apply that rotation, and also maybe change the scale a little bit on the z-axis, maybe also change the scale on the x and y axes, and then apply the scale as well. I will repeat this once more. So now I have about 12 different icicles that I can use to populate my scene. Let's include them into a separate collection called ice. We can hide this collection for now, and let's unhide the rock. So looking at this rock, this overhang seems like a place where icicles will form, maybe some here, so we will add them in these places. I will use the Blender particle system to distribute the icicles across the rock, and I will create a new mesh to do it. So let's move the cursor here. Let's create a plane here, scale it down, and let's place it. I will now extrude it a little bit so that it follows the shape of the rock. So this is how the plane looks, and now I will use it to emit our icicle objects. So go to this particle systems tab, add a new particle system, and use here. And right now the normal of the planes are pointing upwards, so I need to change it. So go to edit mode, select everything using the face edit mode, go to mesh, normals, flip, and now if I go back, the normals are flipped. Now go to render, use render as collection, and select ice, and you can see that the rotation is all wrong, so I will fix it now. Go back up in the particles settings, check advanced, and in the rotation you check it and select none. So now the orientation is correct. As the icicles always point downwards, we don't need any rotation on it. We can decrease the number, and this looks okay. Let's change the scale a little bit. And introduce some randomness so that it looks more natural. Maybe decrease the number. Now you can see that we have some problems here. These icicles are poking out of the rock. So we need to fix the mesh. So go to edit mode and you can move the vertices inwards so that the generated particles won't poke out. So let's see now. We still have some problems here. So let's try again. Now it looks fine. I will now create some more planes with particle systems to distribute these icicles around the scene as well. So the modeling part is done. I will now start with the material. So let's open up a new view and change it to the shader editor. I will try to do this quickly and get some kind of good results with the material. So let's select one of the original cylinders that we made. Change the material name to snow ice. And then select all of the other original cylinders and then Control L and select material to apply the same material to all of the cylinders. And you need to turn on the visibility for this to work, because if it's turned off somehow this linking doesn't work. So I will turn this off now, and let's just quickly check this. So it looks okay. First I want to add some subsurface scattering, so let's increase this value. And then we can change the color to a bit bluish. And then I will change the radius a little bit lower, just to see how I like it. There's no fixed rule to it. I'm just eyeballing it basically. Moving on, let's increase the specular a bit, decrease the roughness a little bit, and it's still not looking very interesting. Simulate the granularity of the snow and ice surface, I will use a noise texture and use it as a bump map with the material. So let's quickly create a mapping setup for this using Ctrl T, and I will use the object texture coordinate and also add a bump node, connect the factor to height. Let's quickly view it using the emissions viewer. So this is Control Shift T, and you need to enable the node wrangler add-on for this. and you can quickly see how it looks. Let's adjust the noise texture a little bit so that it looks a bit smaller. Let's change the scale like so. And in the mapping node, we can also play with the scale. And let's see how it looks. So let's connect the normal and give it some time. Let's change the subsurface radius. So something like this, and increase the Y value also, and the Z value as well. So this seems much better. Let's rotate our environment. This is looking good, but it's still very uniform. I will add more noise textures to the node setup with different sizes to get some more variation. So it's looking really nice now. Let's decrease the strength of the bump. And in the end, I want to introduce some transmission, and you can increase it to make the snow look more wet, so more icy, but I will just add a hint of it, and that's it. So this is it, your basic ice wall for your wintry environment. As a bonus step, I want to show quickly how to add some snow to the environment, and I will use a free add-on called Real Snow. This comes with Blender, but if you want the latest version, you can also download it. I will leave a link in the description below. So you can just select your surface and click add snow, and it will do it based on your settings. Or you can go to edit mode, select some faces, and then if you click add snow, it will only add snow to those surfaces that you selected. So it will take some time, and it's finished now, and the results are really good. So a quick way to make your environment look more realistic. So that's it for this video. If you learned something or it was interesting for you, please consider subscribing my channel. Until next time, goodbye.